spring, right?
No, the same tire combination as last fall.
Last fall, yeah. So
Just to back up, so we tested here last year with the intent to come up with a tire package that generated more tire wear. That was the request from NASCAR and the teams, and we feel like we had a very successful test. We feel like we had a very successful race in the fall of last year. We did exactly that. We saw wear, but we thought it was spot on. So now we're trying to understand what's different, why is the racetrack behaving differently this weekend than what it did a year ago. It's the same package, it's the same tire combination. Obviously the difference is resin was placed on the lower groove instead of the PJ1. Yet I still think the racetrack should be taking rubber as it did last fall. Took rubber immediately during that race. So still a bit of an unknown as far as why it's not behaving the same way, that being the racetrack. But that's kind of what we know now. Obviously everybody's kind of in the same boat. Some guys are able to manage through it a little bit better than others, but it's still a tough situation, and we're just going to have to try to understand exactly what's happening, what's different, and adjust from there.
Was Goodyear consulted on whether to use resin or PJ1?
No, that was a track decision. There was a conversation late last night, this morning, as to whether or not to reapply, which they ended up doing.
Okay.
You said that this is a tough decision or a tough situation, Greg. Tire wear, though, is not bad. Is this just maybe a little bit too much?
I would agree. Tire wear is always the goal. I mean, that's what people want to see. It creates comers and goers, and who manages tires the best. But like I say, we thought we were in a really good spot last year with the tire as we raced it in the fall, and obviously something's different now. So this is too drastic.
Did the decision to switch to a resin over PJ1 surprise you guys?
I think everybody's trying to get away from PJ1. That's kind of the goal in general. So no, it's not a real surprise.
So basically the reason it's cording then is because the track is not taking rubber.
It's just not taking rubber. If you look up in the corners, the tire rubber's being worn off, and it's just not adhering to the racetrack. That's why you see all the marbles up at the upper corners. And again, last August, it took rubber immediately. As is typical with concrete, you run around in a caution, it'll pick it back up, right? We see that in Martinsville, we see that at Dover, we see that here, but immediately when we go back green, it lays back down, and that's just not happening.
The track temperature is much different here now.
Not really. If you recall, last September we fought rain, right? So it was cool. It rained. I think we had one red flag. We had a couple of cautions. It doesn't seem like it's drastically different. And obviously we've had some sunshine today.
How much of a concern was this happening today after yesterday with what you guys saw, or did you feel like it'd go away?
Everybody got together and expressed concern, but we decided to wait and see what happened with the truck race. The truck race went exactly like we expected it to. Put rubber down immediately. Tire wear was in line with what we have historically seen. So it's a little bit unclear as far as why we're not seeing that same thing today.
Do you think you'll have to test again before next September?
I'd say it's probably a good bet we will.